Yo, Poochie, thank you for that follow. Yo, Brahim Moon, thank you for that follow. Be right back, fam. You know what's funny? When you're winning, everyone shows up to the stream, but you lose a couple trades and nobody shows up to class. What the fuck, man? Everyone should be here regardless of what's going on. Yes, sports fan, I will. Justy Doc just stopped in to say good morning. Justy, I really appreciate it. You have a great day, Justy. Just I, Doc. Just an eye, Doc. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I said it. Yo, Doc. You have a great day, bud. Morning, N7. Jawan's here. All right. Love to see it, fam. Love to see it. I got ran over a little bit this morning on some shorts. I shorted Bitcoin too early. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I was charting from the phone most of the morning, and I definitely shorted Bitcoin too early. I'll tell you what, fam, we had a 1 hour breakout here that was really clean. You know, these meme lines tend to work like this, but you can see how we have a down kind of meme line, and then you had this 1 hour break. This 1 hour break happened at the 12-hour close. Let's see, 7, 8. Yep, that 1 hour break happened at the 12-hour close. Really interesting there, because had I saw that, I probably would have longed. I didn't see it till after I was stopped, and I did have a tight stop. I realized my stop was not at resistance. I had a 43.3K stop on that Bitcoin short. And the reality was that we had tapped this area enough times that I knew if we had gotten past 43.3, we were just going to blow by this level. Now, we're not, God, I can't long here, even though I really want to long. This was my invalidation, 43.8 really, area, and we're over that 43.8. Yo, DJ Destiny, thank you for that follow. Blue Wolf, thank you for the follow. So, you know, again, we got this this break of structure here. We can go over here to the 12-hour. I was looking at some RSI breakouts here, which is really good to use. I really think that, you know, if you're not using this kind of 12-hour as, or not the 12-hour, the RSI as a tell, it really has a good tell. But more or less, we talked about this on Monday. The 8-hour had a really good breakout, and that breakout was here, okay, and that was at 40, you know, 41K, 41.5K. We broke out of this this downtrend, right? We broke out of this downtrend right here, and we came up, retested it, held the level. I was long Bitcoin. I longed BNB. I need to check my BNB real quick, make sure it's doing okay. All right. So I longed BNB. I longed Bitcoin down here. I closed my Bitcoin long way too early, and then I shorted Bitcoin way too early. But again, we're not, in my opinion, we're not really out of the clear. I see a big range. Notice this. I overtraded this, fam. We definitely overtraded this. I'd say we could have just put stops at the long and waited for some type of weakness. And, you know, we did have weakness here again, but we broke out of this meme line. You can see this clean break. I mean, it's a really clean downtrend, kind of inverse head and shoulders kind of looking thing. I wouldn't call it an inverse head and shoulders, but again, this is a clean break. I saw this. One of the disadvantages of charting on your phone. Had I been at the computer, maybe I'd seen this sooner, but you know, I'd say you're asking to get wrecked if you're trading on your phone usually. So we got 14 minutes, this 1 hour candle to come down. The 1 hour has some bearish divergence, but unless this 1 hour closes red, it's not really bearish divergence. The 2 hour also has some possible bearish divergence. And now everyone can kind of see these breakouts. That's fine. But you could see how we have a really good 2 hour bearish divergence. Again, hour and 13 minutes till that 2 hour closes there and confirms this bearish divergence. So I'm not really looking to short this. This is a breakout. I wouldn't short this necessarily until you had confirmation. Confirmation is simply, you know, right there. That's your confirmation, fam, to short. It's not here. It's not trying to be a hero and short the top. I get it. This can be an area you could argue all day that's a good short area. Sure. I don't disagree there, but when you've lost a couple shorts already on the day, and I'm just kind of showing you convergence of price here, and this is how these resistance are made. God, how did I just switch that over? Okay, convergence of price. You could put a box here, right here, right? And to be honest, we're kind of floating right over it, floating with it. So again, we got 12 minutes on the 1 hour. I'm really going to be interested to see what this 1 hour closes like. Maybe the 2 hour closes, but I did show at the beginning of the stream the S&P. All right, right here's the S&P. We have we got some 4 hour bearish divergence, and it's confirmed 4 hour bearish divergence. We have a red candle here. We are expanding up. We're at all-time highs. You know, the S&P, I'll tell you what, the S&P seems to care less about these things. 4 hour bearish divergence, even though it's confirmed, then you would think. So, you know, I saw people in the Discord this morning, everyone's like, oh, well, futures are opening red. Man, futures were red, and they were red about as much as they are now. 0.14% is not something to talk about. If the futures are up 0.14 or down 0.14, that's a no news, okay? That's not even significant. If you told me futures were down 1% or up 1%, I'd probably care about the futures. But being down 0.15%, I mean, when we're in a clear uptrend on S&P, means dick. Means nothing, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. So if you're going to check futures, make sure it's a significant futures thing going on, because again, 0.15%. I mean, that sounds like just a normal, healthy pullback before we open up the markets. Right now, I'd say that the markets are news driven. And when I say that, let's say the ETF is approved, that could pump us to 48K. The ETF gets approved, maybe it dumps us. This is a news driven market, fam, whether it's the S&P, the NASDAQ, or Bitcoin or crypto. What I mean by that is that we're not really seeing, and I will argue this all day on the S&P. We're not really seeing, in my opinion, major demand here. It's really a robot driven, algo driven type of market. Again, I actually, that's fine with me. I wanted this deviation before we went down, so this isn't really what I projected here. It's more of like, I think we're gonna make that deviation of highs. I think it's gonna be 5,000, 5,100 or something like that, right around here. So this is kind of what I'm expecting first. This, then the pullback. I want to make sure this clear. The time wasn't really there. And then this is kind of the pivot that decides. We can really feel these inefficiencies here. I think that the S&P could pull back, and this could be our pullback for crypto before the halvening, right? That would make a lot of sense. But because it's a news-driven market, if China were to invade Taiwan today, that'd probably dump the market. If China gave Taiwan independence today, that would probably pump the market. Both are significant news events, obviously, but right now the market is news driven, and because it's news driven, you just kind of got to be safe with trading, because one news, if you guys didn't know, Cointelegraph came out with a fake tweet that pumped Bitcoin from 26.8 to 30K. All right. That is news driven market. If a fake headline can move the market that much, we're talking about a 10%. Zuck sold again. Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did. 10%. If we're talking about a 10% move by a fake news headline, that's a news driven market. So it's just important to be very careful, because it's a news driven market. It's easy to get wrecked. It's easy to go back to Bitcoin here. It's easy to sell signal. Talk about, FOMO into Bitcoin at this point, right? It's really easy to do that. I get that. We just broke this clear resistance right here. We got support over here, clear resistance right here, and we broke above it, right? So because we did break above this resistance, it's hard to short this, but there's a lot of things that suggest this could come down today. And I know I don't want to be the guy that's always bearish and arguing every bearish point, but this is a compression. And my only concern is, with 9 hours and 7 minutes left, is this candle is a Chad candle. Okay, it's a pretty beefy candle right now, okay? Because it's a really good looking candle, and we only have 9 hours left. We're already past the halfway point of the day. This could expand up. And because it could expand up, like if we're starting to head past 44, 45K, this will start expanding up, period. But one thing you can notice in this market is you could just start looking at alts. All right, well, how is Bitcoin reacting? Let's look at the lower time frames. All right, let's look at Bitcoin right here. Here's the lower time frames. It's holding, right? It's holding that. We want it to hold this box. We really want it to hold 43.5, 43.4. But here's the 5-minute Bitcoin, and here's the 5-minute Solana. All right, 5-minute Solana has, all right, bearish divergence. All right. The 12-hour Solana had a really clean, and I sit here and I question this because, again, if it had been bullish, had this been bullish for me, I'd simply would have longed. I would have, fam. Most people are going to long this. And if you had longed this, you got really lucky. We wicked above here. But let me tell you something. On my system, I measure strength. Okay, strength is very important. Down here, this is our strength meter, our historical volatility meter. I measure strength, and the fact that this is a pivot, this is currently a pivot. We have 9 hours left on this 12-hour candle, and this just happens to be a head and shoulders. Not confirmed, right? But this is a head and shoulder shape. I will argue this all day. We have a left shoulder, test, right shoulder, okay? At the moment, fam, this 12-hour, it's above the right shoulder. But because it's a 12-hour candle, and I'm looking at a 12-hour head and shoulders with a 12-hour neckline here, 9 hours and 5 minutes, it'd be a damn shame if Solana closed below 77.12. It'd be a damn shame. If, by the end of the day, if Bitcoin slowly bleeds down, like we've watched for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, if Bitcoin slowly bleeds down and kind of distributes those alts, bleeds up those alts, chops up those alts, because that's what it's been doing. Every time it pumps, has a slow bleed down, chops down alts. This will turn red, confirming a head and shoulders, and I can simply wait till the daily close and still short $77. In fact, this guy flips upside down in the next 3-4 hours. I'm pretty confirmed that this is going to be a 12-hour head and shoulders. So that's what I shorted. It looked very good. It had low volatility. I'm going to short this all day. I'm going to short this all day. It may not be something you want to short, but it's something I'm going to short. Let's go to the bigger picture, fam. And this is something we need to pay attention to, okay? This has happened. This is happening on every chart. In fact, fam. Happening every chart. Here we go. Compression, okay? I'd argue so Bitcoin might have broken out, but Solana doesn't look like it's broken out on the daily. Just doesn't look like that. It's up to Bitcoin though, right? Let's go to some other charts. BNB, okay? BNB looks like it's going to break out more than Solana. Same daily pennant. Sold again. Like that's really his second, around 320 million shares or $320 million worth of shares. I will. Anyways, BNB looks better than Solana, I'd argue, right? It's crazy how these trend lines just, I mean, it's just so clean. So, you know, I think it's safe just to wait right now. Not short. I'm kind of favoring long, but I'm not going to long here. I'd long if I don't know when I'd long. I'm okay with not longing, I guess, until we break 40, 41, you know, 40.4, 40.5, I guess. Let's talk about Inge for a second. I saw this yesterday with Inge. And Inge has Inge is crazy, fam. Inge is nuts. Obviously, we went price discovery. Fam, I want to make this very clear. Right here, I gave a signal to swing long. We had a weekly break here. I said swing long. I closed mine at 25. Most people close there at 25. Had you just put your stops at break even, and had I just put my stops at break even, fam, this was a killer trade. In fact, it was a 2x, 2.2x, 2.1x. In 2 weeks, 2 weeks, fam. In fact, less than 2 weeks. We're talking 10 days. In 10 days, Inge has done a 2x. That, you know, those are the trades, the easiest trades, fam. And most people, they can't stay patient. They can't, you know, they look at something like this. They're like, well, I'm up, you know, 20-30% on my trade. I can't stay patient. This is a Barty looking thing. But we saw something similar to this yesterday, right? Inge has been dipping for a while now, okay? Inge has been dipping for 2 hours. Bitcoin has been pumping for 2 hours, all right? Bitcoin pumping for 2 hours. Bitcoin has an hourly bearish divergence. And yesterday, Bitcoin did the same thing. It was pumping right here when Inge was dumping. Okay, so Inge hit up there to hit that 40 mark and it started dumping right here. So we saw Bitcoin do this. Inge started dumping. Then Bitcoin followed with a dump. Right now, we're seeing Bitcoin kind of pump. Inge has been dumping while Bitcoin's been pumping. Almost like a distraction. Anybody notice that? It's like the market's trying to distract you. Like, don't look at Inge. Don't look at Inge. It's topped. How are we going to make them not look at Inge? Well, let's pump fucking bags. Let's pump all their other coins. Then we could secretly dump Inge. Close to a top. With major divergences. 1 hour divergence here. Here's a heavy 1 hour candle. 4 hour divergence here. Bam. It really doesn't get better than this. This is a really clean, you know, hey, keep it. This is 4 hour back-to-back 4 hour bearish divergence. We have a heavy 4 hour candle. Let's look at the 12 hour candle. This 12 hour candle is going to say a lot in Inge. If we have any volatility, heavy volatility, we talked about that compression and expansion. Expansion is happening. The alias you set the command to be a exchange just does not exist. Bonk. I'll go over bonk in a second. Hold on a second. I need to do something real quick. Hold on, fam. I'm gonna put on music for a second. I'll get back to it. Don't worry. I gotta fix some stream shit while I'm live, fam, or otherwise this shit's not gonna get ever done because I can't do the bot when I'm not live. All right. Hold on a second, fam. I should be done with this in a second. There we go. All right, cool. That shit wasn't working yesterday. Also got disclaimers and shit, you know, this is not financial advice. I get wrecked all the time, you know, shit like that. Pretty big major bearish divergence on the daily. I mean, it's not really that big of a bearish divergence. We are going up on RSI with this, but Jesus, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Like this, the Inge is crazy right now. I kind of wish I shorted that. Me and Iwooks were talking about this 4 hour bearish divergence, and this 4 hour closes like this. It's going to confirm bearish divergence right here. Something I was watching on Inge yesterday, I want to go over the Inge some more, is this, right? Vertical accumulation. Drop, put your, this is the 30-minute, right? I see vertical accumulation. This is that with the typical vertical accumulation kind of look. You saw this on Bitcoin at 34, 35K. It was vertical type of accumulation. You put your line here, the support at wick. As long as you see this hold, it held very well here. This was the long, but this 30-minute, that's a nasty 30-minute. I wonder if Bitcoin's done here. Look at that bearish divergence on the 30-minute. Wow. I think Bitcoin's gonna snake everybody. I still don't want to short this shit though, dude. Still don't look done. BNB. Are you kidding me, man? This is just driving me crazy, man. This is BNB right now. Let's look at a constructive look at BNB right now. This is the 3-day. It closes today, fam. This looks really good. And you gotta be patient on this one. Get a 3-day break of that 260, fam. That's all we need to close over. And yesterday, what happened was Bitcoin dumped and BNB held the entire time. Let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, it pumped BNB Bitcoin, and now it's retracing a little bit. But again, it's working back time. I think this is, we got a 12-hour cross on BNB Bitcoin. And where's my EMA? Isn't it? There it is. You know, as long as we hold that, even though that 12-hour doesn't look that great, as long as you hold this could propel us up higher. I think if Bitcoin continues up, BNB Bitcoin is not gonna do well. But it seems like when Bitcoin dumps, BNB has been holding, and it's holding for that breakout. Again, fam, BNB is the most shorted coin. There's a lot of open interest of shorts, and because there's a lot of open interest of shorts, fam, I think there's a strong chance we're gonna see a major squeeze on BNB before this is over. I'm going to go lower time frames here on Bitcoin. Even the 1 minute. And again, in 53 minutes, if the 2-hour closes red, you got some confirmed bearish divergence. If the 2-hour were to hold green, I wouldn't be looking for shorts at this spot. If it closes red, I think that's a good you can punt a good short at Bitcoin. Damn. It's just still going, in it. It's hard for to see this come down now. So another possibility with Solana, let's just take out the head and shoulders idea. Because it was a good idea. I mean, it is a textbook's head and shoulders. If you guys want to go to and check out this one, this was a textbook head and shoulders right here. Head, Here's the neckline. It actually played out very, very well. It went and made a double bottom. So it wasn't the best head and shoulders, but this head and shoulders right here, I think it's on the 4 hours, a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. This head and shoulders right here, very similar. You got your neckline. You have your equal shoulders. Because I was having this debate in Discord about whether or not this was a head and shoulders up at the top. And again, head and shoulders don't always play, right? Here's a head and shoulders. This played very well. You would have had a nice move if you had watched this right shoulder. Let's say you only caught half of it, half that right shoulder, that's a 12% move. This, play the right shoulder, again right here, come back down, boom. Now, what am I watching now on Solana, which is just keeps going up on this trend line? And I have no fear of missing out, fam. All these things will come back down. I mean, you guys got to realize that all these things come back down. But the next thing I'm kind of watching is the 3 drive pattern. So 3 drive patterns are a very common pattern in distribution, close to a top. It ends up making some type of rising wedge type of looking thing. Not always the case, but we had one in Bitcoin back there, original 25K retest. So I'll go over here to Bitcoin. This is it right here. So this was a typical 3 drive pattern here. Not the best on the 4 hour. Right, here we go. Right, 1, 2, and I'd argue this is the 3rd drive right here. And what did that make? Again, this got everyone bullish. It definitely made a lot of long open interest, thinking we were going to break out after bottoming here after 3AC collapse, Luna collapsed at this time. You know, we saw that all the May, June 2022 bearish variables headlines, right? And right here, we made a 1, 2, 3, kind of a 3 drive pattern, got everyone bullish at resistance. And I would say Solana is at resistance still. So I get it. We're making a new high on Solana. And to some people that didn't long $70 or $68 or whatever the low was this week, you're like, you have this fear of missing out. Okay. I totally understand. But right now, the way I see this is I'm just trying to find the right time frame to fit my bias, fam. I mean, you could argue we're starting to break above. We look like we're getting acceptance above that 78, 88. So this could be bullish. I'm not longing here. It's all right. I don't need to FOMO. Either do you. But again, this is Solana making a new high, and 82 is a very important level. I forget why 82 is a level. I think I got to look at this one. Give me a second. There's a 82 is a very important level. I mean, we're basically there, right? We're basically right at resistance. So, you know, let's just be patient, fam. I wouldn't FOMO along anything right now. Let's just put it that way. I would not FOMO along anything. Everything is not Inge. Inge went into price discovery at $20, and you got a really good lesson of what price discovery in crypto does to assets. Because Inge did close above its previous all-time high, price discovery can make assets do anything. So Solana is not in price discovery, fam. You have nice levels of support and resistance where we just tapped, it looks like, the top of the golden pocket here. What is that? Give me 1 second. Yeah, so we have the 0.65. Sorry, it's just got to be the 0.66. There it is, 82.92. And there's also so 82.92. There's also, what am I looking for? There's also a resistance there. I think it's the 2-week or the weekly. I forget, but there's a nice resistance. No, it's actually is the 3-month, is it? Monthly. Sorry, I'm just like all over the place right now. All right, so we talk about 82. We could also get up here to the bottom of this kind of set of monthly candles, 97.99. I'd say if we get a close today over 82.92 on Solana, I'm okay FOMO longing, and I would probably FOMO long to like that 99 level. That would make a lot of sense. In fact, we could probably go all the way to the 786, which would fill out this pennant a little bit more. Therefore, if we had a 786, could easily see where our retracement would be. And our retracement would be that $23, $21 on Solana. And again, the reason I have this giant pennant is because everything in crypto ends up making this pennant, fam. Everything in crypto. So I'm waiting for a weekly close really over that 82 to invalidate the golden pocket. If we got a daily close over 82, 83, that would invalidate the golden pocket as being the top. But either way, whether we go to 120, 130, I do expect us to be range bound from there before halvening, hit that 199, 130 area, and then be looking for a major swing short at some point when Bitcoin's topped all the way down to $32. Easily could hit $32, fam. If you don't know, that's the level we broke out of, and it will be retested at some point in Solana's history. More than likely, it will be retested. If not, you come back down here, we're going to hit 55, 48 on Solana. Please chart Molly. All right, Elwogs. I'm not charting Molly. I'm going to look at it, though, because I'm going to look at Molly. So he must have bought some, I'm assuming. Yep, Molly. I mean, it looks like shit, to be honest. I'm more interested in like things like, yeah, but I don't think Bitcoin's done. I would say this is probably pretty clean 2-hour. This is not going to make 2-hour bearish divergence. It looks like it's expanding up now. Yeah, I just wouldn't. I don't think shorting here is smart at all. If you do, then great, but I don't think that's smart. It could be range bound here for a bit too. We did just make a nice 5-hour bearish divergence. So I really don't really have a clear look on the market right now. I'd argue I just don't. I'm just going to be patient. There's a lot of things I don't like about this. I'm not going to chase along. I'm not going to short. I'm just going to, practice patience. And that's okay. You don't need to be in a trade every day. And that's the reality. You just don't. Bonk. Okay, I won't forget bonk. Yeah, I'd argue this is yeah, this is strong as fuck. This is strong as fuck, fam. This is strong as fuck, dude. Not something you short. Bonk. All right, let's talk about bonk. I'm gonna clean up the chart here for a second. Bonk has a nice 8-hour expansion. It tried to prevent this 4-hour cross. It looks like it's going to prevent it. If bonk were to close over this, it'd be a nice long. You know, you got a nice meme line here, more or less, going on. It's closing and preventing this 4-hour cross. Anytime you see a 4-hour cross like this and the price action's closing below pretty bearish looking candles, it is a short signal. A 4-hour, and that more or less a swing short, because 4-hour bonk has been going since 41 and an extra 0. So now we're at 4 zeros. That was 5 zeros back then when we crossed bullish. Again, this kind of clean trend line break over the 2150 looks like it's bullish to me. Anyways, fam, listen, I'm probably gonna call it a short stream today. I'm still like under the weather. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, this month has completely physically and mentally exhausted me. I've traded a lot. I've been holding a lot of hands and been teaching a lot and all that stuff. So I've been getting beat up physically and mentally, just by not giving myself the time I need to rest. I haven't been sleeping well. I got a cold, all this garbage. You know, I could use all the excuse in the world. I just do not mentally and physically feel well. And anytime I you know, anytime I can say I'm not sure what to do, I have no problem just not taking a trade. We're range bound. And if you look at the range, and I'm going to clean up the chart again. I'm going to get rid of the EMAs and MAs. The EMAs and MAs do not matter. We are above every significant EMA and MA right now. But if we're just talking about, you know, ranges here, and really could just use some more wicks here. All right. We're talking about range bound shit. This is the top of the range. And here's the bottom. And you could argue the middle is right here. Midline. And we're at the top of range. And because we're distributing alts, because you see alts pumping, it's hard for me to really, this is probably a little bit lower. So, yeah. It's hard for me to FOMO. So we are at top of the range. Here's mid range. We are making, you know, we've made a nice pump up here. But again, I don't want a long here. I don't think this is the smart place to long range highs. This is a range for alts. That's why alts are pumping. Alts pump when Bitcoin ranges. We have been ranging. Should have seen this possible get this tag up here. It is what it is. I didn't see it. I actually did see it, excuse me. I just overplayed it. I shorted too early. I closed my long too early. And that was kind of the bad play. But again, I'll wait for us to lose that 43,400. This is the play to me. Be patient, fam. I can't stress that enough. This is the play. You don't need a short here. You don't need to long here either. Do not long here. I'd highly recommend you not longing here. To each their own, but this is range highs. And shorting here at range highs on the third, yeah, it's a good probability. You got the wick right here. That's a pretty wide stop from 44.1. You got 44.7. It's a wide stop for that short, but I wouldn't long here. So if you're gonna short, you got to put your stops up here, and that's even risky. We could go for that wick. But again, this will confirm in about 2 hours. It happened. Thanks for the stream. Have a good day. Thank you, Mandalo. If it happened to close, this 2-hour close is red, then it confirms bearish divergence. But right now at 37 minutes left, it's looking pretty good. And so just be patient, fam. Be patient. Play this range. I'm telling you, lose 43.4, free shorts, fam. That's free money. You lose it on a significant time frame. Lose it on the 4 hour. Okay? If I see this getting lost, if I see this weakness here, I'll put up a short signal. If I see us blowing over the 4 hour, we close a 4 hour in 36 minutes. over, you know, 44.2, then we can long. We got 36 minutes, fam. They could push this. And I'll tell you what, if they close it over 44.2 right now in 37 minutes, long. It's an easy long. All right, so I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna go try to rest up. I'm gonna try to go to the gym and exercise a little bit. Just kind of get my physical and mental health back. Like last night was the first night I actually slept well in a long time, and it was because I took a lot of time to myself. So I'm gonna try to do that same thing. When I am rested and feeling well and sharp, then I am sharp on the trades. And so, you know, I was thinking about it yesterday. I actually did very well. All I did was take scalps, kind of personal scalps yesterday. I scalped a little bit shorts and then scalped some longs. But I even thought about yesterday. I was like, man, I'm still doing really well, even running on fumes. And then, like, you know, there's a point where, boom, I should not have shorted 42.8. I should not have shorted that 42.8. At the 12 hour, I could have closed my Solana short in profit and flipped long. There's a lot of things I could have done differently this morning. Had it been maybe a little bit more, you know, a little bit healthier, or should I say? But I didn't. So it is what it is. 4 hour break over 44.3, 44. Yeah, 44.3. I think is the good line. 44.3. You guys good to long. But not until then, baby. Not until then. So I appreciate everybody coming by. Mad love. No, Hydra, just go watch the VOD, my man. I had a short stream today. I'm still into the weather. So Hydra, go. I'm going to end the stream, but go watch the VOD. It'll be up in Discord, or not Discord, Twitch, on my Twitch profile. And then you can go watch on YouTube as well. It'll be on YouTube. But we're at range highs, I was saying. I just went long here. Just wait for that 4 hour break. 34 minutes of 44.2, 44.3. You'd argue really 44.2. You get up, get some acceptance between 44.2, 44.3. Thank you, Dan. Then we're talking long. But right now, this is not an area I'm going to long, and this is my short invalidation. Lose that 44.3, and then we can short. So mad love, appreciate everybody. Stay safe. Nothing stopping Solana right now. Wow. Unreal. Anyways, mad love. Appreciate everybody. 8 hour strength. This isn't going to stop. This isn't going to stop. This is probably going to rip, dude. I don't think Solana's going to stop. We got to get over 82.